It's blinking. Look in the camera.
That's your camera because the light's too bright.
No, it's red.
It's
On the
Mars. It's Mars. Planet Mars. It's too bright for your thing.
That is so friggin' cool.
Mars.
Well, that's the weirdest looking planet.
No, 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 no. In this busy world, you got to know what you want and where you want to go. That's what I heard, so I took the advice, knowing that there would be some sacrifice. I said I'll go to work, maybe try to be a clerk, to see how it'd go. I'm making $7 an hour, and they said it was a place I could grow.
I haven't shown you guys this tank yet, because that's Angel. We've had this fish for years. She's the queen of the tank. I don't understand how that gets the earwax out.
True, I mean, that's the answer.
That's... You're sticking the end of a candle in your ear.
It's not a candle. Feel it. Look at it. And then when you look in...
Now how does the wax come out? Now you don't think the stuff that comes out is the wax that's on that thing?
You hear it get sucked out.
Oh, that's icky.
This is just the beginning.
Yuck!
You should have seen him when he did it last, like, 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Ugh. That was in your head?
He's just warming up.
How close to the head do you burn it?
It says on the box, like...
I don't think that's all earwax. He wouldn't be able to hear if he had all that in his ears. That'll explain him screaming at his video buddy. I was ready to give him a Valium last night. What, the game wasn't working? Yuck. Alright, I've had enough wax. That's a baby lemon right there. I've only seen a couple that have developed so far. I have a feeling it's going to be a good crop, but they haven't come out yet. That's like one of the first ones I've seen. My tomatoes do not like water. The leaves always get wilty when the water meter is on high. Okay, so the homeless people or whoever was breaking into my neighbor's yard came back. It was about 6 o'clock, and my husband screams out, "They're there." He was sitting by the side window at his desk. They were right in daylight, went into the backyard. They most likely were going to be there all night. That would have been lovely. Do you remember my last video about this? I told you about the garbage bags that were like recyclable bags. Well, they were all in the yard again. And I ran out there. There was a woman, which was the same woman as I caught earlier. And she was with a guy who was such a wimp. Oh my God. I confronted the two of them, telling them to get out of the yard and that the police were on the way. The guy was like, "Oh, it's the woman. It's the woman." And the other night, the guy was like, "Oh, the woman's not around anymore." So I don't think it was the same guy. He looked different, but at night and during the day, and I only got a brief seconds look at him the other day. It looks like it could be the same people, but it's definitely the same woman. And the bags that I described that were all over the yard were back. So what I think they were storing them in is there's some empty garbage cans out in front of the house. I'm almost positive that's where they're storing their stuff, is in those garbage cans. Because when I came out, she was going through it and she was pulling the stuff out, and it looked like they were bringing the stuff into the backyard at the time. So I'm going to give you some video footage of what was going on when the police came. Not everything, because the camera, could make you dizzy. I really wasn't filming. I just had the camera in my hand. I went into my neighbor's yard just to take a look to see if there was any other stuff. And so I was able to give you a view from that, and you can hear the crunching of the rocks, what I hear at night. Well, they're going to be back. We just caught two in the yard. All this stuff is there. We called the police. The police are on the way. We know they're going to be back because all this stuff is here. This is the other side of my fence, and that's where they were sleeping the other night. This is the tree that had the fruit, and that's some of it that they have been throwing around the yard. God, this used to be such a beautiful yard when my old neighbor had it. They can be getting in over here too. Yep. I'm gonna have to chain this up. No. They come at night.
And after they walk, their stuff is still there.
Right, we saw that.
Yeah, there was a guy and a girl. They split up. The other one from the right and threw her shit over the wall into that private development, the gated community. So she's wandering around in that gated community.
Okay.
But it's unfortunately it's vacant. You know.
Yeah, but we have to live next door.
No. I get it. We're gonna move their stuff out here at least, so they don't have a reason to go back there again.
After the police left, they still had all their stuff in the yard, so we knew they were going to be back tonight, and they did come back. So there was no workers or trucks or cars, anything out in front of the house. So they were getting into the house, and I have a feeling they were getting in through the garage. We were beside ourselves. We don't know what to do. The cops told us that once these people find a house that's empty, they will keep coming back. And the cops said it's like they tell their friends, and if they're not in the yard, their friends are in the yard. So that is just not happening. My husband went on the internet, and we actually found the owner of the house. We found out that the house is up for sale, and there is somebody who put in a bid, and the bid was accepted. So I'm probably going to have new neighbors very soon. Somebody who's actually not going to rent. They're going to live there. Yay. I never have problems with the neighbors that own the houses here. They're all really nice people, friendly. They watch out for each other because we own the house. It's these damn renters that come in and they trash the place. I don't even understand why they do that. Tanner is a YouTuber who used to live next to me. He didn't take bad care of the house. He was not a bad neighbor, but I've had some neighbors that have rented that place that were psychotic. The guy used to start fires in the backyard, big fires, and then he would go in the house and he wouldn't put the fires out. He would let the fires burn. Their renting story was a funny one because it was a single guy. He was just weird as hell. He went away for the weekend. And he gave his nephew, I guess, the key to the house. And the nephew was like early teens. And the kid threw a rave party like you have never seen before. I mean, there was kids everywhere and music blasting like a rock concert and lights. And we didn't call the police, but I guess probably a number of people called the police. And they came there. And the kids went scattering. And I guess the neighbor, when he got back from wherever he was on a business trip. The kid was alone in the house. We saw the owner of the house. I mean, I know who the owner is. I just don't know who she is. We saw her running down the block. She was livid mad. And within 2 weeks, the guy got kicked out. He was gone. Like, they threw his butt out. And then Tana moved in, and they were great neighbors, and he was here for a couple of years. Besides the little car parking wars of who's going to park where, they were good people to have as neighbors. But this has been insane. So at least I could say we're going to probably be getting new neighbors who are owning the house really soon. Real estate goes fast in Vegas. So that's the story. Hopefully, this will be over really soon. And now that we've confronted the woman, maybe she won't come back.
No. In this busy world, you got to know what you want and where you want to go. That's what I heard, so I took the advice, knowing that there would be some sacrifice.